Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Weekly Podcast, starring myself, the fabulous Ross on Wrestling from Section A of the Cultaholic HQ.
Is it the section of Cultaholic HQ?
And Jack from the completely different Section B of the Cultaholic HQ.
From the basement, from the dingy base. I said before we came on that I look like I'm in the video for Stan, just writing little notes to who would be the target of my affection. Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day. There we go.
Nice. Ross, who would you stan? I guess that's the theme of the intro, if you could.
Alan Shearer.
Ooh.
Just that sip after that.
I thought there'd be more to that. That's why I took a cheeky sip.
Alan Shearer. Self-explanatory. Nothing more needs to be said. He's still going silent. He's doing a thing now. Speak, Maffew. You are the host.
That's like, I met him and it was great.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to the Newcastle training ground in, I want to say 98, 99. Maybe. Don't know how my dad Wrangle did. And so I got a photo of Alan Shearer and I asked my dad, do you not want to be in the photo? And he said, no, son, the wet patch will be visible. So.
Oh, no.
I assume he meant himself. Anyway, what were you saying?
No, he didn't. No, he definitely didn't. That would be the
Dad.
same if I'm Alan Shearer. And I won one of those competitions where I don't know what you did to enter. I got to go, but it was the 2012-13 season, so I met Niall Ranger. I had my picture taken with the squad. I'll put it on Instagram. It's a fantastic picture.
Just that. Go on.
Oh, is it my turn? I was gonna jump into the thing.
I thought I wanted Frozen or something.
I've recently rewatched the video of Alan Shearer singing All Night Long into a breadstick. It's so good. It's so good. Alan Shearer loves
Lionel Richie's his favourite artist.
He loves Lionel Richie. And his karaoke song is All Night Long. And he's singing it into a breadstick. And you know what? He's actually got an alright voice, Alan Shearer. He's actually pretty good. He goes for it. He really goes for it. The camera swivels round, whoever's filming it. They swivel the phone round. Gary Lineker has sat there and he's clearly off his face and he goes, he's the breadstick man. It's so good. It's just fantastic. But Shearer's doing all like the Jambolito set. He does all like that bit. It's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Was Gary Lineker singing into a packet of crisps? I imagine.
No, he was having a poo into one. Tom Brady.
You know who else has a lovely voice? That Renee Young, who was officially left WWE. And would you believe it? The week she leaves WWE bring back Talkin' Smack.
I know.
The show that she made her own with her personability. Is that a word?
Yeah.
I think I'm making up stuff at this point. Personability, the way she speaks, the way she sounds natural. You're able to say the WWE hashtag stuff and have a good old laugh with people like Daniel Bryan and Baron Corbin back when he wasn't annoying as hell. And perfect time to be bringing that back. Weird timing there. Was there any inkling or things before she left, or announced she was leaving, that Talking Smack was coming back? Because that took me by surprise, Jack.
I think, was it Ross maybe, or Tom, who said that it seems like maybe, or was it you, Maffew? I can't remember who it was, but someone suggested that maybe it was as if Talking Smack was like a bargaining chip. They'd gone, well, if you stay, we'll bring back Talking Smack. Who said that?
That was completely off the top of my head last week.
Oh yeah,
no sources there, unfounded completely.
But even though it was just speculation, it does sort of make sense. It's a good theory, I think. Yeah, it's sad that she's going. Did anyone see the video that all the superstars recorded for her? Very emotional.
Nakamura's message had me in tears. The wrong kind of tears. Tears of laughter. He's just like, oh, I didn't see you.
Yeah, but the ones who seem genuinely sad. Cesaro, so sad. Corey Graves, we know that her and Corey were friends. But
Corey said he loved her.
Oh. It's just all setting up to Carmella versus Renee Young in a till death do us part.
Bailey, innit? You want Bailey Raw Underground against Renee Young?
That was good as well. I like that one. What a shame. Very talented woman.
Should be fine wherever she ends up. And in the other news this week, Samoa Joe lands role in Suicide Squad video game, apparently playing Killer Shark. And I only know this because Ron Funches was very mad that a wrestler took the role that he wanted.
Oh.
He said, hard times, baby. He's trying for a role for 30 years.
Do you stay in touch with Ron?
If you mean he tweets and I like the tweet, then yes, we interact frequently.
You've got a fair few famous friends, haven't you? Ron Funches.
They're great. I mean, they're
Every
very busy.
wrestler.
I remember Ron sent me a few messages when I at StarCast, so I was like, oh, that's nice. It's been nice. I'll message him back. He didn't reply. And I'm like, oh, why is that? Well, I don't know. It might have something to do with the busyness of his life being on Conan O'Brien, getting the shows on TV stations sorted out. But for a brief time, I associate him as comedian. Not like those huge comedians see on TV. That's ridiculous. Just some guy making jokes.
As well as that, in Vegas, Hornswoggle was so excited to meet you. He was so buzzing. You were excited to meet each other. It was a beautiful moment. I was there for it.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were walking towards Hornswoggle. He's coming down an escalator in Caesar's Palace and does a classic, like, uncle joke, sees us and turns around and starts trying to climb the escalator away. It was very funny. Very funny from Swoggle there. Very good.
Yeah, it's weird, the fascination wrestlers have with me. I'm pretty sure at this point, the viewership for Botchamania is 85% wrestlers. Because 50% of the fans don't even know who I am, and it's great. I'm loving that. And the other news, apart from talking about me, Roman Reigns has returned, and he has new teeth.
Yes.
They are sensational.
Pretty cool, aye.
It's like when Professor Green got new
Is that
teeth.
the news? Is that the news?
Yeah,
Roman Reigns got
'cause
new teeth.
I wrote that down. I think I was going to have more than that, and that's all I wrote. Roman Reigns has new teeth. Fantastic. Well done, Maffew.
Just rubs it in, doesn't it? Just a man who was already a 10 out of 10 goes and gets new teeth and makes himself a 10.5. I saw someone on Twitter saying, how much of a fool can Roman Reigns be wasting himself on professional wrestling? And I fully agree. He should be in all the films. All of them. All kinds of films.
Yeah, all the
Should be
cameo.
the next Rock. Yeah. Imagine looking like Roman Reigns. Imagine being born and growing up to look like Roman Reigns. It's not fair.
No, it's not.
I literally can't imagine
I've got
that.
a new spot on my nose today. While Roman Reigns is gallivanting around with his new teeth and his wonderful head and lovely body. That's another thing as well. He came back twice the size. Muscles everywhere. And I got a new spot on my nose.
Not my spot. Not a dog named Spot. Not my spot.
Oh, no.
Not a liver spot. Sorry. CFO $. I hope I'm getting the name right. I don't sound like the Key and Peele's NFL name sketch. Created some WWE entrance songs, but they are no longer with the company, and they are now officially disbanded as a group. They were dropped by WWE in May of last year and fired from their longtime partner Greg Wattenberg's music label Arcade Songs. CFO $. Tried to get WWE to buy them out of their deal, and WWE seemed to be agreeable to that, but Arcade Songs rejected this at the time, and they're out a significant amount of money. Fightful Wrestling reports. So WWE has registered a trademark for Def Rebel, and that made many fans wonder as what was going on. Turns out that's the name of the new group of people in charge making original music. And because of that, WWE allegedly, apparently, is urging talent to get rid of their themes that were made by CFO $, who no longer work with them due to signing an awkward deal with their publisher, which gives the publisher 50% of royalties. And this explains why there's been many people asked to change their theme music. That sounds like a horrible deal.
Yeah. But they've written some bangers, so I don't like them getting rid. Obviously, Keith Lee's the big news. Everyone kicked off about his music change. Are they going to get rid of, like, the Undisputed Eras? I don't know.
You would assume so. That'll be jarring as anything, that would, if they got rid of that one.
That's a great theme.
Is this why maybe that we've seen a lack of entrances on the wrestling shows? Because people like myself go, hang on, this show's 3 hours. We're having different wrestlers come out for different segments to basically fill it up. Why are we not seeing full entrances?
Oh.
And it suddenly makes sense. It's like, we're back from the break and this important match is already underway or already in the ring. It's like, okay. That makes some sense there.
Maybe that's the whole reason behind the creation of Raw Underground.
Maybe that's the reason why. Do you reckon that's the reason why Drew McIntyre's got, like, crossing swords at the start of his theme now instead of the bagpipes? Subtle changes like that gives it to somebody. I don't know how music rights work or not, but yeah, I don't know. It seems weird, though, that Keith Lee would get such a horrible theme when this has obviously been going on for quite some time. That's weird. Because I don't know if the Pitchers video is live, but we don't know if this was just a thing that happened on Monday morning and they scrambled together and gave him just a generic theme they had lying around. But no, it would just seem this is just poor planning and lack of action on WWE's part, and that is unforgivable.
If only there was another really good Keith Lee song made by some YouTubers that was really catchy and well received. Oh, well, we live in hope.
I put it on Twitter, Maffew, earlier this week. They can use it if they want to. It's there. On behalf of Cultaholic, they can have it.
Imagine, because one of the most, it's a very jarring, it's brilliant, don't get me wrong, but it's a very jarring song, I think you'll agree. And one of the most jarring bits is that horrible synth at the start, like the and imagine just that kicking off Raw.
Royalty-free music on YouTube to steal is fantastic.
Yeah, Thomas said that there's other songs they can do. He said, Tom Campbell loves Keith Lee. He wants to spread him like he's Dairy Lee. And then it carries on from there. But sorry, I won't cut that out. And also, there was some major wrestling this weekend. Yeah, believe it or not. SummerSlam happened. Quick rundown. Pre-show, Apollo Crews beat MVP. Fine match, nothing much to it. It is a match that happened. Bayley beat Asuka. And then later on, Asuka beat Sasha Banks to win Sasha Banks' SmackDown title, which happened exactly like I thought it would in the pitch video.
No.
Just saying.
I'll let Ross talk about this because I think he was fuming about it, as was I, but he explained it more thoroughly.
Oh, go on, Ross.
What respect of this match, Jack? Just the fact that they could have ended it by a DQ after a second, but didn't.
Oh, no, I meant the fact that commentary was saying that it was Bayley's fault that Sasha lost, even though it wasn't really Bayley's fault that Sasha lost.
No, it wasn't Bayley's fault that Sasha lost. Bayley should have got more involved, but I don't think it was Bayley's fault that Sasha lost. I thought that was a bit weird. Sasha got the short straw here on this occasion, didn't she? She trusted that no-good Pamela a bit too much, and that no-good Pamela did not give her anything in return. Therefore, Sasha Banks should shaft her to one side. Get out of that relationship, Sasha. She's no good for you.
Why couldn't they have... I think they should have done something like Bayley goes to hit Asuka with the belt. Asuka ducks and she hits Sasha instead.
Yeah.
But instead, they had Bayley on the apron, moving out the way.
Jumping out the way, yeah, saving herself.
Apparently, but...
I didn't get that because Bayley's, obviously, in the build-up, she's been, my title's the most important thing. She said that line on whatever show it was. She was like, because it was the match where Asuka, if she won, she would get the shot at Sasha at SummerSlam. She was like, if I was fighting for something that was important, I would have won that match, but I didn't. Oh, what a shame. Where am I going with this point? I can hear myself in my headphones all of a sudden. It's very off-putting. I'm going to try and battle through like a professional broadcaster. Where was I going with that point? Yes, Bayley's title was already safe. Bayley could have, ended that match between Sasha and Asuka after a second. It was a bog standard singles match, and she didn't, and that was weird in my opinion. I can't speak anymore. Full transparency, dear viewer. We've just done the pitches video before this one, and I'm knackered.
Ross cut several promos.
I know.
In the pitches video.
Spunked me load too soon in that pitches video. Forgetting we're doing this one straight afterwards.
Oh, it sounds like Ross needs what every wrestling YouTuber promotes, and that's Blue Chew, brought to you by Street Profits beating Andrade and Angel Garza. And it was good. These two have good chemistry. Sorry, these four have good chemistry together, but seem to be more storyline based with what's happening with the managers and that. So, yeah, nothing bad here. Mandy Rose beat Sonia Deville. And I gotta say, after the horrible news of last week and after the gimmick change to the match where Toulouse leaves WWE for a bit, I really couldn't get invested in this because all I'm thinking of, bloody hell, is she okay? I don't care about this rest of my life right now. If she's having to leave and take some time off after what happened last week, I don't care. That's secondary to what real life is. But I know, what did you think, Ross?
Yeah, both of them. That was my overriding emotions as well, because I think Mandy was in the house with Sonia at the time, and the guy was saying, I want to kill that whatever who's in the house with you as well. So the fact they rocked up for not only SmackDown but SummerSlam and put on a big-time match is just testament to them. The gimmick, the stipulation change makes complete and utter sense, given what the news has been saying, how Sonia's lawyers were saying maybe rocking up to court with a bald head isn't the best idea. So you can fully understand that, and I hope she takes all the time she needs to get everything sorted and, take time, just take all you need to get back to work eventually, hopefully. I'd like to see Sonia back. She's been on fire over the past few months.
Seth Rollins defeated Dominic Mysterio in a match that exceeded expectations and would have been probably better if it had been about half the time, but I think Dominic looked very good for what is his first proper match ever, I think. And it doesn't matter about the match, though. It doesn't matter about that. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio Jr. from Halloween Havoc 97 gear. That's it. That's it. 5 stars by itself. Before the match rang, it was 5 stars. What do you know, Jack? What do you know? What do you think about this match, Jack?
I enjoyed it. I agree it was probably a little bit too long, but I thought that Dom did really well and Seth did really well. And it was just really, it was really good. I was pleased. I was worried that, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I was worried that Dom had massive shoes to fill after bloody Patrick on NXT decided to pull out all the stops.
Right.
But no, Dom still did himself proud, so fair play.
But he's only got tiny shoes to fill being Ray's son. Yeah. Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton in a big old WWE slugger heavyweight type of match that built up like Greek music, and I thought was pretty damn good considering. And no legends or anybody ran in or appeared in the Thunderdome, which I thought was going to happen. So it's just these two guys going at it. No Ric Flair getting kicked in the head so hard the lights went out. Nothing like that. Just plain wrestling. What did you think, Ross?
It was just the finish, wasn't it? It was a good, proper, main event, 2 big heavyweight wrestlers, good, throwback 90s main event WWE pay-per-view match. And then the finish, I know the tagline for SummerSlam was, "You'll never see it coming," and I think Drew played up the fact that Orton was claiming he was the greatest wrestler in the world ever after the Edge match, and then he beat him with a wrestling move. So, hey, I'm the greatest ever now. But after that feud and what Randy Orton had been doing to Drew McIntyre's absolute best friends and idols in the entire world ever, we needed a bit more, I thought, than just a roll-up to finish that match. Something devastating should have been happening, and that's all. I think that was just the only issue with that match, was just the sort of the understated nature, maybe, of the finish. Do you agree with that, or do you just think I'm an idiot?
I agree with that, yes. I think they did it just so all the commentators could look at each other and go, you'll never see it coming, and then move on, because that's the tagline of the show. The Fiend beat Strowman before Roman Reigns' return, so The Fiend is the new champ. Being not an avid SmackDown watcher, so good to watch us, see how good these two are now. No cinematic matches, and it was pretty poo. Not my thing. I don't know what happened to The Fiend, because I swear it was last SummerSlam he came out against Finn Balor, and suddenly he was the hottest thing in the company, most improved of 2019 and all this, and now I can't wait for him to go. But that's just me, a miserable person. Jack, you're happy. What did you think of it?
No, I didn't really like it very much, Matthew.
Oh.
I thought it was weird how they just changed the stipulation of Falls Count Anywhere and used it once and then came straight back to the ring. I was like, what's going on here? And then obviously he cut up the ring and... Oh, Ross is livid about it.
So I forgot about the box cutter thing.
Yeah.
Why have that involved when you're sat there watching, going, why don't you just stab him? Just stab the Fiend and end him. He's trying to drown you. He's trying to drown you or something, or try to murder you, whatever happened in that swamp, or if it was a dream or a visage, I've got no idea. Mirage. I'm Michelle Visage. I told you. Drag race on in the background this morning. Anyway, I always think, just stab him. But why have that prop involved in the match in the first place when obviously he can't? I thought Braun looked a bit silly there, but that's besides the point. Sorry, Jack, continue.
No, that was pretty much what I was going to say as well. It made Braun look a bit silly. And I just didn't really enjoy it very much. But, I mean, I'm guessing you're going to... We've already talked about Roman's return, but did you think it was good, Matthew?
Wasn't expecting it.
Never saw it coming.
Rumblings. I never saw it coming. That's. I mean, I should have seen it, because if you'd started from the cheap seats back, we should have seen this set of teeth run into the ring because it was so bright and shiny, But no, we didn't have that happen. Roman Reigns come back. Hooray! Good. God knows this company needs some star power. He's kicking ass. He's taking names. Yeah. Okay. Happy with him. And any other comments you have on SmackDown on SummerSlam?
I don't think so. Was it all right? It was all right. It was an all right show.
I think it exceeded my expectations.
All right,
yeah. Exceeded my expectations. It did depend on your enjoyment of the Thunderdome, which I'm sure we'll get into later on. Or we can talk about it now. It's up to you.
I don't like it, but that's just me.
What don't you like about it, Jack?
I find it, apart from all the controversial things that have been put on screen by people trying to be edgy and cool, but some of it's been really grim, like the execution and everything. But apart from all that stuff aside, I find it visually quite distracting, because there's lots of movement, but not in the way that a crowd would be. There's lots of individual movement, and it's, I don't know, find it a bit distracting personally. I know some people prefer it, fair enough. I don't like it.
I like it when it's any other shot apart from the hard cam.
Right.
Because they literally look just like Guess Who. And you're right, there's a lot of movement, lots of craziness, and it's
honestly, there's
bright.
there's a stampede going on upstairs, I've got to say right now. And it's
Oh,
been
we can't
going
hear
on
anything.
Oh, can you not? That's fine then. I shouldn't have flagged it up. Oh, dear.
It's fine, but thank you for letting us know anyway. If we hear any noises, it's not Jumanji, it's your office, that's fine. But yeah, it's absurdly bright to the point where it actually hurts the eyes after you watch it for a bit. But when they show the, like, sideways, what's the word I'm looking for here, diagonal shots where they're all lined up like that or rest of the arena, I think it looks way better. You are right, it's a shame that I'm one of these people who's like, haha, that's funny, they got a Fire Velveteen Dream sign, or there's Pikachu.
That stuff,
funny.
but not the grim stuff.
Yeah, and then when they've got legit KKK footage there, and then people went, no, it's Chris Jericho in that Jane Silent Bob movie. It wasn't. No. Sorry. I checked.
Oh, was it not?
It's just bollocks, in it, trying to ruin the fun for the people who just want to have a bit of fun. It's a load of bollocks. Should be ashamed of yourselves, you arseholes.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than the Performance Centre, though, the Thunderdome, I reckon. Entrances have never looked better.
The entrance, I was going to say, the entrances are exceptional. If they had all the entrances and none of the matches, this would have been a hell of a show.
I also think it's a bit of a work in progress, because watching last week's SmackDown, it was so jarring because obviously they're now giving them direction. Like, oh, here comes Drew McIntyre, everybody cheering, everyone's going like that. Last week's SmackDown, it was great during the entrance and seeing people excited and they pretend to wave to the wrestlers as they looked at the screens. But when the match started, everyone, because they were home alone, sat on their own, and because probably they've got neighbours and, it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, they sat there just silent. Yeah. And that was so weird because they looked so bored while, all these wrestlers are doing the flips and the big power moves and whatnot. But it's a work in progress, so I think it'll get better as the weeks go on.
It's a good point there, Ross. Go on there, Jack.
I liked Randy Orton staring at the screens angrily, as if they were there. That was funny. So, yeah.
And I think the other issue to get sorted out is the fake noise they're pumping in.
Yeah.
Now, on SmackDown, it was like that one, like there's a giant plane in the background just getting ready to take off. And it's like, okay. And then SummerSlam and Raw afterwards, they used different ones. The one on Raw after SummerSlam, it needs to be brought up. It's on a 30-second loop that if you've got ears, you'll notice it because there's certain noises that repeat. Someone went and checked the fake crowd noise from, I believe, 2K18, one with Seth Rollins on the front. And this audio is so outdated, and from the video games, you can hear a kid yell for Cena. Just saying. But as you said, Ross, it's a work in progress. Something that wasn't a work in progress was NXT Takeover. Or Takeover, as whatever people call it. Pre-show, Breezango beat Locken and Burke and Escobar's lads to become the number one contenders to the tag team titles. They'll probably not win them, though, so I don't know why they did that. Finn Balor defeated Timothy Thatcher in what I thought was 75% a lovely match. Two guys grappling and sweating and woofing all over each other. And then 1/4 awkward finish when Bella just ignored all the work Thatcher had been doing and stomped him and won when Thatcher should realistically be stretching everybody like they're Gumby at this point. But that's just me. What did you think, Jack?
I quite liked it. I think Finn's victory makes more sense now that we know what match is coming up. Although they wouldn't have known that at the time, actually, when they booked it. So, it was disappointing to see Thatcher lose, but it was quite a good match. So I'm not too mad.
Good. Don't be too mad. This is followed by Damian Priest winning the North American title in a crazy ladder match with lots of crazy bumps and craziness and stuff happening and people falling off and hurting themselves. My personal highlight was Bronson Reed doing the splash with... What's her name? Oh no,
Candice.
That's the one. On his back, and then coming down because there's nowhere for her to go other than Bronson Reed. So God, she must have taken a hell of a beating there. Loved it. Car crash. It's a ladder match. They're all about the craziness and stuff, and it's definitely delivered. But Ross, what did you think?
It was just an NXT Takeover ladder match, wasn't it? I don't know what else you say about it. We know what to expect from these matches, and it delivered. And I think that's probably the highest praise you can give it, is the fact that it delivered. Cameron Grimes, special shout out for him. Some of the knocks he took was horrible, especially that one where it was the sunset flip from Gargano and he sort of caught the side of the ladder and it looked horribly brutal. But yeah, it was just a great car crash ladder match, as you would come to expect from a Takeover.
I think Regal Seats needs to start announcing these as get ready for the NXT Big Stupid Ladder Match. And in the match everyone's talking about, Adam Cole beat Pat Mcafee.
Oh, what a guy. What a
Big
guy.
Pat.
What a guy.
Yeah.
That's the benchmark now. You can take your Tyson Furies and whoever else, you can put them to one side when they're just lumbering about like a tit who's never done the wrestling before. Make them train for as long as Pat Mcafee clearly had been training, because that made a hell of a difference.
Yep. He was somewhere between LT at WrestleMania 11 and he's just underneath Mr. What's his name? D'Angelo Williams. From that one TNA show.
Oh, in Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fantastic, yeah.
It's just below that, but he kept on going. The match went long, but it didn't feel long. I was surprised at how good it was. Go on, Jack.
I'm surprised he's a freak athlete. I know he was in the NFL, but he was a punter. He wasn't like a bloody defensive lineman.
Wait. A punter, that could mean like just a guy, can't it?
He was a fan. But, I mean, I knew that he could kick far and hard. I didn't know he could do backflips off the top rope and land on his feet and then jump back up like Shelton Benjamin. That was insane. What a guy.
I tell you, all I could think of while watching that spot in particular was just the guy on Twitter who compared him to Robbie Savage.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would love Robbie Savage.
Imagine Robbie Savage doing that. Sorry to that guy on Twitter. Just trying to help us out by explaining who Pat Mcafee was. But that was, Robbie Savage wouldn't do that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. And this is from someone who had no interest in this match because it's two dicks being dicks to each other. And I was watching this going, this is all right, this. So, well done. Io Shirai beat Dakota Kai. Io was able to recover after bouncing on her own heat to come back in a women's title match. I had plenty of time to build more stuff on TV. You know, the Ripley and everyone else got involved. Yeah. Thumbs up from me. What do you think, Jack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I've not really got anything to add, really. I just think that Io Shirai is a great champion and shouldn't lose it anytime soon.
Yeah. Speaking of not losing anytime soon, Keith Lee, the man who had 2 titles, I think a month ago, now has none. Cross versus Keith is the main event. Some people didn't like it. I like the fact that it was different to the rest of the show. And it was slow and it was plodding because they are 2 big dudes going at it, like big dudes go at it, I imagine. I don't know, just use Google. And I liked it and was all right with Keith losing because, and a lot of people are mad at that, because I looked at it and went, well, Keith's not got much to do on NXT right now. Apart from beat Cameron Grimes and then Dominik Dijakovic again. So I like the fact that he lost the title. Now he's got a reason for a feud. I was wrong on all accounts because obviously he started off the Raw. But I meant well at the time. Ross, you're much smarter than eloquent than myself. What did you think?
I thought it was weird because normally a traditional wrestling card, it's like driving a manual car, Maffew. Your first match starts off in first gear, then you move to second, up to third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This was like going from 6th on the motorway, driving 70 miles per hour, the speed limit here in the United Kingdom. And then, for some reason, changing down to 4th. It was just like, just going off what we saw earlier. So that was weird for me. But I know what you're saying. It was a different style. But just sort of when you're up and then you're down for the main event, it felt a bit weird. I wasn't a fan of the finish. It was a bit underwhelming for me, just because to me it looked like a back suplex. I don't know what the official term for it is. I can't remember what it was, if you can remember. But that off the middle rope, that was a bit like, that was a surprise, but not in a good way. And also, I just don't like the fact that Keith Lee looks like a bit of an idiot. He vacated the North American title, and now he's lost the main title, and he's left with nothing. I know he's on Raw now, but this is like immediately after the main event. I was thinking, Keith's a bit of a fool, isn't he, for giving up his other title? But apart from that, I thought it was all right.
What's your favourite? What's the most satisfying gear change?
Oh, it's from 5th to 6th in these modern cars now.
What's it like?
Just pull straight back.
It's like 3rd to 4th, but like more
on the other side. Yeah,
nice. I like a bit of when you're on
first to second's obviously the one, isn't it? When you get a hot start at the traffic lights. What-ish?
Yeah, I quite like 4th to 2nd when you're slowing down for a roundabout or whatever.
Skipping a gear, are you saucy bastard? They tell you not to do that in your driving test, don't they?
No, I didn't do it in my driving test.
Aye.
I bet you didn't.
Taking all the rules and disregarding them.
No points on my license, I just like to say. Maffew, any thoughts on gear change? You're learning to drive currently.
That's right. As I've told people, I'm furious because my driving test originally was going to be the week that lockdown was announced. So it was, as the French say, le cancelled. So I am booked in first week of September for another one. I'm back to the point I was now with my driving lessons. And the answer to what's your favorite gear change is irrelevant because I'm driving automatic. So they're all good.
Oh, no.
That's right.
You'll never get the satisfaction of changing a gear, though.
I love people talk like that. I'm like, what are you on about? all these car people like, oh, you're not a real car guy. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm not giving you a lift.
Fair enough.
But anything else from Takeover? I think that's pretty much it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we should cut it here and go to the next bit.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame.
And now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And in third place from last week, we have Giri/Haji. Oh, yeah, remember that discussion? That was great, wasn't
The
it?
Netflix show, yeah.
Yeah, 5%.
5%.
One Piece, a kids show made for kids that a grown man watches, 26%. It's okay, I will never bring it up again. Sorry about that. The promo package for Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross at NXT TakeOver Triple X, the only wrestling-related thing that happened last week. Hey, ready, lads? 69%.
Hey.
Nice. Thank you. So, with that enormous win there for King Ross, what?
Who?
Yeah, great. Yeah. That's actually a thing. Sorry, for Boss Ross. I'll go with that. For Boss Ross, what have you got for us this week? You may go first.
Well, I've been, in the midst of these non-wrestling picks, I've been going for wrestling picks, so I'm going to make things a bit more tricky for myself this week by going for something that's not wrestling. Well, typically not wrestling. It is wrestling related because I'm going with Maffew for the porterhouse steak. Last night, I went to Tomahawk Steakhouse.
I've seen your
Newcastle
Instagram.
upon Tyne.
Oh
my God. Kept making a good use of that eat out to help out thing. I was thinking, let's get a more expensive cut of meat for the first time ever. We're getting £10 off. Why not? Kick up the heels, paint the town red. You get your one half. Well, no, it's more than one half. Sirloin, you get the bone, then it's fillet on the other side. And oh my God, the nicest thing I've ever had in my mouth. Bar none.
What's fillet steak like? I don't think I've ever had fillet steak.
It's just the nicest cut in it, no fat. It's just so tender and just it all goes down. Wow. Unbelievable scenes. If you're in Newcastle upon Tyne, you're looking for a steak, disregard your Miller and your Carter. They're crap compared to Tomahawk Steakhouse. Fully on board with the Tomahawk me. Second time I've been, went for my birthday, went back last night in the porterhouse. Unbelievable scenes. So a porterhouse steak.
Nice. I've not been. But there's a lot of good eats in Newcastle upon Tyne, so I'm not going to feel too bad.
We're quite a culinary
Look at the pictures now.
city, aren't we? We're quite good.
At Ross on Wrestling on Instagram. Everybody, go and have a follow. I felt like an arsehole there. Anyway, I put a picture on there last night, yeah.
The important question is, how do you have your steak?
I have mine, Maffew, medium rare.
Good lad.
Not well done like some. Dirty people.
I'm medium, which I think is the brink of acceptable. Well, that's fine, Maffew. Don't give me that look. That's all right. Medium's fine.
What colour is it when you cut it in half and look at it? What colour is that?
It's a bit bleedy, but not really.
Oh, medium. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah.
No, not medium rare, just medium. Why is that bad?
So a bit more towards well done than medium rare.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but not like it's. When I say bleedy, it's a bit pink. It's a bit pink.
On the cusp of acceptable, I'll say.
Okay, all right. Okay,
any further, then we're just ruining the steak, aren't we?
It's medium and it's pink. Okay. Oh, whatever. I'm not going to argue.
Pink, mediums. Is medium not pink a little bit?
I thought medium rare would be
less pink.
Yeah, less pink.
The least pink you could get, I reckon.
Faintly pink. Yeah.
As long as you're happy, Jack.
You know what I'm going to try? Yeah, I watched a video. Remember Mixed Match Challenge when that was on and Rusev was teaming with Lana?
Yes.
I'll never forget, he made it. Is it called Seared? Where you just literally put it down for 10 seconds, turn it over, down for 10 seconds, and then eat it. I want to try that just to see what it's like, but I'm too scared, to be honest with you. Too scared.
Yeah, I'd have someone else make that for me, because I wouldn't, because I know I'd get myself salmonella or something.
Yeah.
But have you been to Reds in Eldon?
No. Oh, no, I haven't, no.
Ooh,
I went for your birthday one year.
You did. You showed up.
I was there.
Aww.
I did. I showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Good.
Yeah, they do some good eats. Sorry, let's talk about places in Newcastle you can go to eat.
I made friends with some of your friends, and they're all incredibly charismatic. So I just felt very like, hiya, I'm Jack. was weird.
Yeah, Jack, the man with no charisma or YouTube show or anything like that.
Well, only when I'm at work, only
Oh,
from 9 to
bless you.
5, and then I'm just drained, man. No.
You're a lovely guy. I've seen you dance at Rise.
Why do you mention my dancing all the time as if it's
so
bad?
good. He's so
It's
charismatic.
middle of the. Shut up, man.
Like Travolta doing Saturday Night.
No, it's not though. It's just it's like my steak. It's just acceptable. It's just acceptable dancing.
Move
I
that
think.
chair to one side now and give us a move, because I've heard so much about this dancing, but I've never seen it.
It
Well,
has to be
just-
at the right time, the right amount of liquor, and Limp
When
Bizkit.
got your money by ODB's on.
ODB's on. So, Jack, what is your pick for this week's Hall of Fame?
My pick is so I'm way behind the times on this. First, I was going to go for just the house robots from Robot Wars because after our little Twitter back and forth, but then I decided no. I saw something that made me laugh a lot on YouTube. You know how Peter Crouch, former England striker and Stoke, Tottenham, where else he been? Liverpool, Portsmouth striker Peter Crouch,
Villa.
2 meter Peter. He does this podcast that everyone knows about, which is really funny, very honest about football. He just has a laugh. He's the most candid footballer I've ever heard, but in a good way. Like he's funny with it. But I saw this little series on YouTube where he sits down across from different GOATs, different greatest of all time footballers that he knows. So there's Ledley King, Gerrard, people that he's encountered throughout his career. And he asks them towards the end. So my nomination this week, right, is Paul Scholes because of the answer he gives. Peter Crouch says to them, can you describe yourself in 3 words? And some of them, like Andy Robertson of Liverpool's, takes it quite seriously. He's passionate, happy, just that sort of stuff. Steven Gerrard goes, boring, miserable man. And that's just what Steven Gerrard is. And then he goes, Paul Scholes, he goes, Paul, can you describe yourself in 3 words? And Scholes just goes, no. It just says no. Which, if you've ever seen Paul Scholes being interviewed or how he got a job in punditry, I've got absolutely no idea because he is not a charismatic man. Paul Scholes is the antithesis of charismatic, but that answer is superb. And if ever I'm in an icebreaker situation, I might steal it. If someone goes, tell me 3 things about yourself. No, it's just the best answer. So I'm nominating, even though I'm in no way a Man United fan, I'm nominating Paul Scholes. He scores goals, my lord. He scores goals.
Tomko, give me a beat.
No.
It's a good pick.
Paul Scholes is the Tomko of football. They're very similar. Also, I think Messi will end up at City. There we go.
Ooh.
Just thought I'd mention that. I should have mentioned it in the news, but never mind.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Wow, well, a lot of optimism there. No, that's a good pick. I agree with you on everything you just said. Just don't ask for any elaboration. I'm going to go with... back to wrestling. Enough to talk about silly cartoons and stuff. I actually had 2 picks because I thought one of you would pick one of them. I thought one of you would pick Seth Rollins' gear at Payback. Obviously, nah. Instead, I'm going to go with, talk about later on, AEW Dynamite. Good show. Moved to Saturday. Lots of moving around this current period for AEW Dynamite. That poor Twitter account going, it's on Thursday. It's on Thursday. Stop asking us. It's Thursday. Doesn't matter. Last week's AEW Dynamite was okay. It's all right. Middle of the road. Wasn't bad. Wasn't too much going on. All right. Main event, Brody Lee versus Cody. Okay. See Cody dismantle this crappy Dark Order who aren't really going anywhere. And wait, what's this? Brody Lee is just giving Cody 3 moves, 4 moves, 5. And Cody's just pinned. Wait, what? Brody Lee annihilated Cody. He absolutely destroyed him, wiped the floor with him. You need a mop and bucket to deal with poor Cody after this match. And it came out of nowhere, and they carried on beating him up and pushed him over the stretcher, which I think you have to do anytime you beat up someone in wrestling now. And I love it every time. And Brody Lee's the new TNT champion. He took the crappy bits off the title that Cody had redone and went, hey, take your crappy belt. And now Sonya Dark Order are cool again. A completely unexpected squash. The best kind of squash. Give me memories of Cena versus Lesnar at SummerSlam that one year. And yeah, that is it. Brody Lee murdering Cody. And Cody's dead. It's a shame that, dying on TV in the middle of a big push like that to blow to AEW Dynamite. But it was worth it. R.I.P. Cody. Thank you very much.
Fair. It made me sad because Cody's my favourite. But that's
that was
the point.
thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been this slow heel turn for so long, but then one segment, one beatdown, and you feel sorry for the guy again. Weird times.
His wife got choked out as well by bloody, what's she called? Anna Jay.
Anna Jay.
The magician, but she's not. I don't know.
Yeah, she made Cody's push disappear.
Hey.
Great. So those are the 3 amazing picks just for you, the Cultaholic Patreon people. Of course, vote for Tomahawk Steak, no matter how you have your steak.
The porterhouse steak. Am I gone?
Hello? Oh, it's Tomahawk Steak.
Friends.
I'm here.
Yes.
Hello. We can. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry to clarify, is Tomahawk Steak, that's the name of the restaurant, right?
That's the restaurant, yeah. I'm nominating the porterhouse steak.
Oh, porterhouse steak. Sorry, porterhouse sounds like it could be a thing. Sorry, big fan.
Yeah.
Porterhouse steak, no matter how you have it, unless it's well done, you can vote for Ross. Jack's is Paul Scholes.
Yeah, it's Paul Scholes, yeah. Former
Wow.
England international.
I hear that very often. And mine is Cody dying. A hard death on AEW Dynamite, thanks to Brody Lee. These 3 picks are yours, and yours exclusively, but you must pick one to vanquish the quest. And you go that by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. I'm just saying words that pop into my head, can you tell? Patreon.com/Cultaholic.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
And as if there wasn't enough this week in wrestling. And this is SmackDown. And usually I do my fun fact, but none of them have been fun or interesting, as people have told me. So I actually watched SmackDown this week to see what Thunderdome looked like. And Vince welcomed us all to the Thunderdome, but is interrupted by The Fiend. Strowman came out to save the day, and Vince appears to have teleported to safety.
Yeah, where did he go?
The Fiend and Braun have a stare down, but Retribution arrive to spoil the party. The Fiend disappears, leaving Strowman alone to get beaten down. The SmackDown locker room arrives to chase Retribution away, with Miz heroically arriving late.
Yeah,
Strowman is shaken and takes out Gulak and Jey Uso like a fanny.
Yeah, because Miz was doing his, I was here as well, come on, like that sort of thing, yeah.
Like when
Weird.
Billy Gunn arrived late after Austin get hit by the car at Survivor Series 99. Just saying.
Weird opening promo, in my opinion. Everyone can teleport. Vince and The Fiend. They can use flu powder or something. I don't know. It was
Cocaine.
strange. That's the one. That's the answer.
Ico Pro.
I don't know. I didn't know what to make of it. I mean, it all led, I suppose, to SummerSlam. But crucially, Retribution didn't show up at SummerSlam. So I don't know. I don't know what to think.
They got a video package, though. That was nice.
Yeah.
Nice of WWE to do that,
That's what you do when people are hijacking your TV shows, make a lovely promo package about them. But I found out the Miz is actually behind Retribution this week. Because after seeing that little late arrival for the Miz, I Googled Miz Retribution, and there's a YouTube clip from the build-up to WrestleMania 35 where the Miz swears he will get retribution for what Shane McMahon did to George. So this whole retribution thing, everybody, just because it's in the title of a promo package the Miz got on SmackDown from like March 2019, that's retribution is down to the Miz getting retribution for George. You heard it here first, everybody.
No, Ross, don't say we're getting Miz versus Shane McMahon again. Please.
George versus Shane McMahon, and George
I'll
will
take
win
that.
because of his retribution friends.
2 years in the making. Sheamus faces Big E with the roster surrounding the ring to protect the match from Retribution. Sheamus is about to win, but Corman decks Riddle on the outside and starts a brawl, which distracts Sheamus enough to get rolled up. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't it? Yeah, and then it was weird.
I think I was looking at the crowd.
I was sad that Big E won by luck. I'd rather Big E just won by winning.
More fool you. Sasha and Bayley both face Naomi in a beat the clock challenge to see who faces Asuka first. Sasha wins, but Naomi beats Bayley out of nowhere. Asuka comes out and laughs. Ha ha ha. Sasha charges at her, but gets dealt with. Bayley runs away. Blah blah.
Sasha was laughing as well when Bayley got beaten, which was made what happened at SummerSlam all the more surprising, and all the more egg on the face of Sasha because she was clearly happy that Bayley done effed up in her match on SmackDown.
That's right. And then Bayley says, "Don't worry, at SummerSlam I'll get my retribution." It emerges throughout the show that AJ Styles sneakily injured Jeff Hardy's leg during the retribution stuff earlier, so Jeff has to wrestle their non-title match in a knee brace and use it to gain the advantage towards the end, and beats AJ. Afterwards, Styles is furious at the monster Abyss. Wait, what? Non-title?
What?
No, it was
He is
title.
the champion, isn't he? Yeah, it was
Wait,
title.
what? Oh, sorry. I
Not
thought.
title.
Oh, wow.
Were you trying to see if I was
I'll tell
watching?
you what.
I
No,
think
no,
you did that
I'll tell you
deliberately.
what. I was half asleep when I googled Wikipedia'd Intercontinental Championship to make sure that AJ was still the champion. But he's
You
not.
googled Wikipedia.
I did. And then I went on.
Then Wikipedia'd Google.
I went on Intercontinental Champion, and it mustn't have been updated yet. Sorry, guys.
That meant
like
that
a
you were
fool.
supposed to update Wikipedia, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, Strowman interrupts a Firefly Funhouse segment and batters Bray Wyatt. He takes him backstage and chokeslams him out of a loading bay. Bray's loaded into an ambulance, but the lights inside the vehicle turn red. The Fiend emerges as the backstage crew look on, shocked. They can't believe it. Oh.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird as hell.
Adam Pearce deserves an Oscar for his acting when he's shouting at the ambulance, "No, go that way, not this way. You go that way, that way. What are you? Can someone tell me what's going on here?" It was fantastic.
Good job there. So, yeah, SmackDown looked and sounded different, but I forgot most of that happened. But, yeah, Jeff Hardy's the new IC champion. Woohoo. AEW Dynamite. FTR beat Private Party, and Teddy Blanchard now appears to be their manager. Later, they got into Hangman's head about the Young Bucks possibly becoming number one contenders again, and it seems to imply that Hangman may cost the Bucks next week, which could help FTR.
They heavily hit.
And if
Brilliant.
we're right, by the way, that'll have happened by the time that this comes on your YouTube. So,
Oh yeah,
just saying. Because it is
the heavily
yeah.
Thursday tonight and whatever.
heavily hinted there's a new Four Horsemen coming as well, because he was like, Tully said right at the end, forever the revelation. And apparently the Four Horsemen are in the Book of Revelation or something like that in the Bible.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
think I've
they
got
are.
that right. I hope I have. I saw someone on Reddit point that out. So I
yeah.
nicked it.
Yeah, you literally
Yeah.
Four Horsemen entry from Revelation. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
They
it's
go,
gonna
and
be-
then Ric Flair rode on a white horse. Yeah, and whatever that's down at
Who, Mongo?
Yeah, they did the Four Horsemen in the original Bible, in the King James version. Mongo, Flair.
And lo, Mongo did say unto Flair. I think it's going to be Judge Death, Maffew. That's who I think it's going to be. From bloody Judge Dredd. What a reference.
Absolutely. You cannot kill what does not live.
I wanted to say one of the other three Dark Judges, but I couldn't think of any of the more obscure ones, so it didn't look cool there. Mortis or
Fire.
Mort? Yeah, Judge Fire. I know what you mean. There's,
That's
yeah.
not right, is it?
And there's like Judge Famine. And,
Yeah, Judge Famine's one, and then
and Judge Procrastination. Judge Judy.
Judge Judy, yeah.
There she is, yeah. So.
Backstage, MJF is overselling a neck injury from Mox's attack last week. His lawyer presents a contract for the title match at All Out. MJF and co. want the Paradigm Shift banned, and if Moxley doesn't sign, they'll sue him. Of course, he has a Burberry neck brace because he's MJF. And any thoughts there, Ross?
He doesn't seem to realise that Moxie's got more than one finishing move and tailors his offense to who he's facing. Brian Cage being the example, winning with some sort of arm maneuver because Cage lost his bicep or something. So yeah, he looked silly there, did the professional wrestling heel MJF. Yeah.
You tell him, Ross.
Yeah, I will.
The Lucha Brothers and the Butcher and the Blade lose an 8-man tag to Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares. The baddies all argue afterwards, but Eddie Kingston comes out to unite the families. He's planning something, and this is Eddie Kingston's first appearance as a proper employed employee of AEW. Yes.
He's a plotting what to do. What's Neville Pack gonna think when he comes back and he's nicked all of his mates? He's gonna be like, "Oh there, Eddie Kingston lad." That was awful.
That was great. What are you talking about?
bad. Cheers.
Yo, Pac! I have to do Eddie Kingston now, don't I? Yo!
Yo, Pack. Yo,
What's up with
homie.
thee?
Yeah.
How
He
did
offers
he
him a
co-
ham and peas pudding out of friendship. Anyway, Jericho is all sporting and congratulates Orange Cassidy on beating him. He proposes a third match with a Mimosa Mayhem stipulation. Cassidy accepts but is then beaten down by the Inner Circle. Jericho's nice guy act was all a damn ruse. Now, this has been an interesting feud. I can't talk for some reason. But I, like a lot of people, are going, I'm liking this. But it is a comedy feud. Right? It's not a serious feud. But what do you think, Ross?
Yeah, it's a comedy feud.
Yeah.
It definitely is, because they're doing comedy things like debates and Mimosa Mayhem matches, where the way they read out the rules, I can't remember the exact wording, but they made it sound like you won the match if you were the guy thrown into the mimosa. Which, of course,
what?
you are in real life, but not in professional wrestling, because, drinks and that. But yeah, I don't know what to make of it. A lot of people are saying online, I saw that they're a bit sick of this feud now, continuing on one more big match. But it's different. We'll see what they've got planned. I don't know what to say about it.
I feel like the fact that you can win by pinfall or submission or being the the mimosa way makes me think that the finish will come. I think Jericho's going to win. Because I think that he'll win by pinfall or submission, but then get thrown into the mimosa anyway. Because it's funnier to see the heel get thrown in, isn't it? It's not going to be funny if Orange Cassidy gets thrown in. No one wants to see that.
Yeah, I think that'll be exactly what happens, Jack, and then they'll move on and just get something for Orange Cassidy to be doing and Jericho to be against somebody else. And obviously, that's one thing they could be doing, but they could be building up to the all-important Dakari Destruction match with Ross on ringside. It was great last time we met up, and you had like this pile of them.
What else?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Dakari?
Daiquiri.
Yeah.
Did I? Do I drink daiquiri?
Wait,
Is this a joke that's gone over my head?
What did you have last week? The cartons?
Sangria.
Oh, Christ. Moving on. Darby Allin beats an enhancement guy.
I'm actually training for a sangria submission match, actually, man.
There it is.
Yeah, thank you for saving me there, Paul. Darby Allin beats an enhancement guy, but is then interrupted by Taz, who brings out Ricky Starks dressed as Darby. Wow, he's been totally pooned. Who wrote this?
Pwned, yeah.
But whatever.
I've gone back to the early 2000s with that.
I was going to say, there's people watching this who don't even know what that... Maffew just said pooned.
I was just thinking of the the famous South Park episode with the Warcraft guy.
Yeah.
When they're about to finally kill him, and Cartman goes, "You're about to get totally pooned." I just thought of that when I wrote it.
Yeah, and that's when the reference to pooned was dead. By the way,
Pwned.
Pooned
Sounds rude.
No.
Okay.
Pwned.
It's just that stuff the Rock eats, isn't it?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Darby's jumped from behind by Brian Cage, and the pair beat them down. I think Ricky Starks look cool as Darby Allin. He should dress up as him every week. And I also like the fact that he says, "I like turtles," because Darby Allin is clearly the little kid from that one video growing up.
I didn't like it.
Is.
I didn't like it at all.
Didn't you?
Nah. I found it cheesy. I found it cheesy because it's like when Taz is going like, ha 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 ha. He's dressed as you and he's acting like a miserable teenager. I just didn't find it that effective. The beatdown was good, but I don't know. Sorry, lads.
Sorry, in this chat we stand Taz, so I'll just ignore you.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Eva Elise and Diamante beat Brandy Rhodes and Elite to win the Women's Tag Team Cup.
Thank God.
Elite.
I didn't even realise that was the... sorry. I didn't realise that was actually the conclusion. That was so anticlimactic.
Yeah, that was the finish. That was the final.
Oh.
It was a quick match.
That was the final? Mm-hmm. That was crap. I didn't even know I watched this episode. Oh. Well, it was a match. It was all right, but... Oh, okay. Fair enough. Nothing else. And I've already talked about the amazing segment of Brody Lee murdering a guy on TV. Fantastic. Any other thoughts there from either of you from AEW Dynamite?
Brandy didn't eat the pinfall. Bloody Brandy.
Have you got an action figure out on every Walmart or wherever it's available?
I enjoyed the scene of the framing of the shot where Tony's interviewing Brody Lee while Cody's getting like carted out in the back and everyone's like worried and there's all the Dark Order celebrating. It was so good. It felt really real. It felt like you really want someone to beat Mike Tyson and he's just absolutely knocked him out and he's getting interviewed after. It was like, no! It was like that feeling. It was great. Yeah.
When Joe Rogan drags up the guy, so you've just been knocked down in 10 seconds, how are you feeling in a cage like this?
Yeah. That was Cormier, wasn't it? The famous one. That was sad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, common sense would say it's probably not a good idea to get a guy who's just like, you've just lost in front of people. You've been training your entire life for this fight. How do you feel? Like,
honestly, I've been so you know our Robot Wars thing on Twitter, it inspired me to find old episodes of Robot Wars. So I watched like the first 4 episodes of like the first Wars. And one episode's like a special featherweight edition, so all the robots are tiny. And one of them is being driven by like a 10-year-old lad. It's just this little crap robot. Somehow gets to the final against this robot that's got a one-man team. He's there on his own. He's just an unashamed, just an absolute nerd. He's loving it. And his robot drives straight at this little lad's robot and just KOs it in like one ram. And it cuts to the kid just like, huh? And the guy cuts to the guy going, yes, get in. He's so buzzing. And then at the end, as the credits are rolling, it's all the music like the do. Just Philippa Forrester interviewing this kid and he's bawling his eyes out. And that's how the show ended. I couldn't believe it. It was a sad ending of Robot Wars. Oh,
That kid got Brody Lee.
yeah. That kid will be about 33 now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm sure he doesn't think about it much.
Was it Adam
Every
Pacitti?
single day of his life. But yeah, there's 2 things there. 1, yes, it was amazing. And 2, that thread that Pacitti started about forgotten TV moments from the UK.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it, I contributed the full baby video that they'd always put on Shooting Stars.
Yeah.
Because I don't think enough people know there's a full version available online now, which is amazing. The moment when the Chris Evans game show, Don't Forget Your Toothbrush, happened, and he says, not only will you guys win a holiday if you win the questions I'm going to give you, but so will the entire audience. And then the entire audience goes, akka, over like the idea of like, oh, really? So it sounds like Steve Austin 99, whenever they get a question right, the crowd like, yes, come on. But have you seen the clip that someone else put on there? It's just become this amazing thread. I don't care, this is not about wrestling. On Blind Date with Cilla Black, someone comes on and she's actually an undercover journalist. And Cilla Black knows. She goes, well, you know who you say you are you? Love? You're actually she's a journalist. And there's this awkward silence in the crowd. And then she goes, well, yes, I work for Cosmopolitan. And the crowd, boo! And even
Like
worse.
Green Street.
Yeah.
Journals. Cilla Black absolutely hates journalists.
But then she's been on a date with this dude, because that's the whole concept of the show. And the guy didn't, it's like, are you being serious, Cilla? It's like, yeah, I am, love. And he's just
Hey,
Like,
I'm
this is-
sorry, love, I really am. But she's not who she says she is.
so you've lied, haven't you? I mean, I'm looking forward to the article, to be honest with you. Hen. And they're like, so how you feel? Do you think you lying to this poor lad who people would have loved to have gone on a date with? You've taken that from him. Well, no, Cilla. Boo! Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I know
Cilla's
that
absolutely savage.
Yeah, so, some people go and look at the other stuff we talk about, 'cause it's all on YouTube, because there's the video with Matthew Kelly and what's his name? Richard, is it Skinner?
Frank Skinner.
Frank Skinner, thank you. Yeah, and a load of the comments are, yeah, Cultaholic sent me, please look for that Blind Date one, because I'd never seen that before.
I
It's
need
amazing.
to see that as well.
Yeah. Sadly, we go back to wrestling. Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre cuts a promo about how he overcame Orton and offers him a rematch. Orton jumps him from behind and they brawl backstage, where Drew gets punted twice in the heat. Yeah, he did.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, saying it.
What do you say about it?
Ow, I think.
He kind of missed with the punts.
Yeah, well,
A little
that's the exact cut when it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. Nia Jax attacks Shayna Baszler during a match against Bayley. Then somehow they both realise they hate Sasha and Bayley more than each other and chase them to the back. The tag title defense at Payback. Oh, here it goes, it says here.
Like
And
Keenan
then
and Kel, I was thinking of Keenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later, Shayna prevents Bayley from interfering in a SummerSlam rematch between Asuka and Sasha, allowing Asuka to win. It was weird. It did feel like you missed a segment when it's suddenly like, oh yeah, they're teaming up now. Space of one episode, they've gone from enemies to friends. But I think that was overshadowed by the fact that they were backstage talking, and sometimes you can literally see the fingerprints of Vince McMahon on the script that they have to read from. When Shayna Baszler sees Nia Jax and goes, all right, Haystacks Calhoun, which is such an outdated old reference. I'm surprised the screen didn't go black and white and all grainy when it happened. I have no idea why someone would say a reference that ancient. All right, Mandy Dingle. Like, I have no idea why it was such an obscure, outdated thing. Like, and I think it's why people like AEW brag about the demos, about how they're winning, and how it is only old people who watch the shows. And this is stuff that brings it up. But I think I'm rattling on about something boring. Ross, what did you think about any of this?
I thought it was quite a good reference to make, because, like, presumably Nia Jax hasn't got a clue who Jane Haystacks Calhoun is. Like I said, Giant Haystacks there. It's a completely different man. It was the speed of this one, which was weird for me, because obviously in a world where, you know, the bar exists and Team Hell No, it's a thing we do in the wrestling where foes team up because they realise that they're good at the fighting together. But Nia was literally mid punch on Shayna when this one happened, and that's just a bit too weird for me. And just it's just because they don't put any focus on the women's tag team division, do they? And this is what they're doing. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is.
Lads, do you think, because this is the key one, I think this is the key prediction that could tilt the custody of Adam Pacitti in mine or Tom's favour, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to give up predicting on Sasha Banks and Bayley, because I've been saying for half a year now, this is the event where it's going to happen.
So you think,
and it never does.
You think they're still going to win?
Probably, yeah.
I've gone for Shayna and Nia. I want custody of Adam.
Yeah, but Shayna said to Nia, you leave me alone after we win the tag team titles. Get off me back and leave me alone, she said. I don't know if she's going to do that if she wins the tag team titles.
In all fairness, Tom's going to be better at the video that we make of being in custody, like Adam being our child, than I am, I think.
How can that be a video, though? Like, what? Are you just going to go down to the courts and get the papers done? Is that the video?
I've got no idea.
Please,
what
if
it's
we're going to have, like, Ross outside the court, like it's Look North, going, well, they've been in discussions all morning there. Jack in the studio.
100% doing that.
Random people walking past on the key cycle.
What do you make of it? Imagine just go. What do you make of a 32-year-old man being given to the custody of a 27-year-old YouTube man?
I feel like we've got to find ways of making videos socially distanced, obviously. But the last one with Tom and Ross was really, really good. So I'm excited if I win. A part of the winning will be the treat of doing a video again, like a fun one, a skit.
That was fun, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was fun to direct that one. Eric Rowan was actually in the video, not me.
Sorry, yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course. Anyway, yes. Yeah, I think, because you asked, that Banks and Bayley will retain.
Oh, flippy flip.
I'm sorry, but
Sorry, do you really want the custody of Adam?
Not really, no.
he's getting a character. Oh, no, my son.
The winner? The winner gets the custody of the loser.
The winner gets custody of Adam. I just want to do a funny video again. I don't want to actually. The problem is that it's going to drag on, isn't it? Like yours and Sam's marriage, I suppose. I don't want that.
That came to an end recently.
Fair, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Alistair Black is the guest on the Kevin Owens show, and he's still selling his eye assault from Ron's a few weeks ago. He feels faint, as Owens asks, "But you're not a real wrestler, are you, mate? You're a journalist." And Black turns heel and takes him out before he can ask any more pesky questions. Yeah, got to do something on Alistair Black, I guess. He's not done much, apart from get beat up. And I like the fact that anyone shows up with an eye patch. Because if you wear an eye patch, you look 50% cooler, despite having 50% less vision.
He should keep it forever. He looked good with it. I like the storyline aspect as well, because Kevin Owens knocked on his door, so Alistair Black kicked his head off. Remember that?
Yeah.
Is it Futurama? What's it from? I've just had a thought in my head there of you remember when someone goes, nice depth perception, one eye? Are they talking to Leela in Futurama, Maffew?
I think so, yeah.
Thank you. I thought I'd clarify. I just got it in my head when we were talking about his depth perception, his vision.
What a great finish, by the way. Alistair Black sets up the big kick and just misses completely. Kevin Owens like, oh, okay, and pins him because he's got no depth perception. Anyway, just me. I noticed that he knocked on the door and waited for someone to answer. So if the Royal Mail are watching, that's how it's done. Mark Henry's in the ring to introduce an arm wrestling challenge between Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley. Apollo wins the Hurt Business attack. Apollo dives onto them and runs away. And then later Lashley batters Ziggler and Cedric in Raw Underground. Then there's a brawl between the Hurt Business and the Viking Raiders, and the Hurt Business stand tall.
Oh my God.
A lot of words.
I'm getting sick of... The Hurt Business should be easy to write because they're good. but they keep on giving them like 70% of Raw. I'm just sick of them. I hate the Hurt Business now. And it's not their fault. I don't know.
They're taking it in turns, aren't they? It was the Vega Boys a couple of months ago, and now it's the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
But did you think, why are they doing an arm wrestling match on this week's Raw? Because I was. But someone, I don't know who put it on the interweb, but somebody did. The insane YouTube numbers arm wrestling matches do in WWE. There's one between Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman a couple of years ago, and it's got like 89 million views. So no wonder they brought it back, because how the 89 million views for one arm wrestling video from the wrestling. Unbelievable scenes.
We know what to do next time there's a draw in a predictions contest.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling. Millions of hits.
Yeah.
Jack versus Tom, arm wrestling for custody of grown man-child Adam Pacitti.
This has really disturbed you, this Pacitti thing.
You're throwing it at me like it's a brick. By the way, Adam Pacitti is up for adoption, and he's dressing like a school kid. I just don't see him that way.
Not like
it's
an
a very
accurate,
odd thing.
Not like an accurate school kid. He looks like one of the Bash Street kids.
Oh, what have they done to deserve that comparison?
I've just realised what he's doing.
What's he doing?
He's doing that Thingy Samson's video, isn't he, for that song that he really likes from Eurovision. Daz Samson.
Teenage Life.
Yeah, he wants to. He's auditioning for a part in that now, isn't he?
Did you learn at school today? What did you learn? Great song.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably went to school with him.
No, Pacitti's been in touch with Daz.
Oh, has he indeed?
Yeah.
Orton is interrupted mid-promo by a debuting Keith Lee. I think we're talking about this long enough, so we'll skip ahead. The main event is Seth and Murphy versus Ray and Big Dom, but Retribution...
Sorry, we're talking on the pictures, Maffew. That was a different video.
You're right, I beg your pardon, I will talk about it. Orton is interrupted mid-promo by debuting Keith Lee, who challenges him to a match. That match is interfered... Oh, bloody hell. This match is ended by interference from Drew McIntyre, who grabs Orton for the DQ. Orton runs off, but later attacks Drew again backstage and punts him a third time. I don't know if any wrestler in the history of WWE has been punted 3 times by Randy Orton in one show.
They want him off Payback, don't they? They're trying to write him off. Go on, Ross.
No, I was going to say Shawn Michaels has just changed the game, hasn't he, for punts worldwide by no selling that one last week.
Yeah.
That's
it's going to be like NXT
Jack.
style, where it's going to need 3 punts just to get a kick out.
I think I'm upset, Jack.
Why?
Yeah, all right, Jack.
You look very frustrated that I cut you off. I'll let you speak again.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just... Right, okay. My arse is really uncomfortable, so I keep shifting. I know I did that there and sat really like that. That's not annoyance. That's literally just trying to get comfortable, and it's not working. No, right, no, don't worry about that.
Phew.
Oh, that was the point. The main event is Seth and Murphy versus Ray and Big Dom, which I thought they were going to do a payback. But Retribution interfere. Seth and Murphy amscray, it's a word that doesn't get used enough, thank you, Jack, as the Mysterios are beaten down to end an immensely frustrating show, Maffew. Wow, what makes you say that, Jack?
Yeah, because it took me ages to write those notes, because Raw these days, under Big Bruce, is just all over the place, and I can't keep unpicking it every week. It's driving us mad!
I can tell, you're right. When you read it back like that and you have to read it out as I'm butchering, it's a lot of stuff happening, but nothing happening at the same time.
It's very fragmented and it's very piecemeal.
Yes. NXT. Wade Barrett is on commentary.
Yes.
That's right. Mr. Bad News himself, because God knows enough of that in wrestling, has returned to NXT with that amazing Northwest dialect where I'm going to pronounce every word.
I don't think that's Northwest. I think he's putting on a voice.
It's like Northwest. It's what Northwest accent's what Sean Connery's accent is to Scotland, you know.
Yeah.
Carrying Cross and Scarlet.
Well,
because like Freddie Flintoff's from Preston, where I think Barrett is claimed to be from, isn't he? They're both from Preston, yeah. And Freddie Flintoff sounds like he's from Preston. But that's one hell of an act to keep up all of the time for Barrett if he is. Unbelievable.
Well, maybe it's just become his act. Regal has let it slip a bit in recent years, hasn't he? He kind of goes a bit more northern now and then. On NXT, now that he's on NXT.
That way he pronounced Baylor on this week's NXT was sensational.
Oh, dear. Barrett. Has anyone heard the story of how Bad News Barrett became a gimmick?
No, Please tell us.
Ross has heard it, but I'll tell you,
I
Maffew.
can't remember
Just
it,
tell
though.
me then.
I heard a rumour, or I saw it on a shoot interview or something, that apparently Cody Rhodes used to rip on Barrett backstage all the time for being old and how old he was. And he used to say, like, because they're really good pals, it was like that. And apparently Cody used to say, like, I remember watching you in the 80s when you were Bad News Barrett, like just some old school gimmick. But then it just became an actual gimmick. So I think it's quite a nice story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Something's hard to take the mick and ends up being the most successful thing he ever did.
It happens quite a lot in wrestling.
Yeah, it's surprising,
Yeah.
that, isn't it? It's a very weird industry. Wait, Karrion Kross and Scarlett come out. Kross vacates the NXT title. Yeah, we go. Yeah, Karrion Kross had such a good match with Keith Lee that he decided things are going too well and decided to injure his shoulder in the process because we can't have nice things in WWE right now. So there's no champion NXT. And Regal announces that, well, with the solution to all the problems NXT, with a multi-man match for the vacant title. So next week it'll be a
Not
four-way...
just a multi-man match. Yeah.
Oh, just you wait. 4-way Iron Man match to decide the new champion. Oh my word. Cole versus Gargano versus Ciampa versus Balor. And I'm praying they do a... It's a Jack's note here. And I'm praying they do a WrestleMania 12 just to see Matthew's reaction. A lot of people seem really hyped for this because, work rate, the only thing that matters in wrestling, splurt, meh. I'm not looking forward to this at all. Because, yeah, my least favourite bit about NXT is what I like to call Garganoism, which is moves, and kick-outs for the sake of doing them. No rhyme or reason, no story needed, just kick out on two. If it's off the top rope, kick out at two. Off the balcony, kick out at two. The Thunderdome, kick out at two. So I will not be watching that match because I want to be positive.
Aren't you a fan of Tanaka Awesome?
Yes, I am. Why'd you ask?
Well, it's just the same match, isn't it?
How dare you? I'll come to Cultaholic Section B and get you. Anyway. But that's just me. Jack, you're the positive, young, up-and-go-getter. You remember me
calling me that for
Bad
about
News
4
Maffew.
years.
What? Go on. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm kind of agreeing with you already on this one.
Oh.
Because, yes, they've been backed into a corner, but there isn't really much story beyond the fact that they're 4 greats of NXT. However, I do have faith that they can put together a good match as long as it doesn't go too Gargano-y, as you would say. However, on the other hand, it almost certainly is going to go too Gargano-y, isn't it? So I don't know. If they strike the right,
Go on.
if they strike the right balance, it could be amazing. But I don't know.
Well, I was expecting you to be the positive one here. So, Ross, what are your thoughts on Super Tuesday?
I honestly have no thoughts. I like the magnitude of the match that they've put on with, legitimate, I think they're calling it the 4 cornerstones of NXT. You can't really argue against that, can you? But the hour long, as you say, how is it going to be like 12, 7, 2, 13, like full, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. It could go one way or the other. Yeah, I've got no idea what to say about it.
Fair dues. Well
That's
done
the
for
sort
being
of
positive.
analysis you come here for. Bloody hell.
Breezango beat Imperium to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions in what may be Breezango's best ever match. Loved how this went, loved how it flowed. They look like proper wrestlers, and that sounds daft. No, they are proper wrestlers, but they are sometimes too comedy. There wasn't any super sexy entrances here, which I was expecting. And yeah, they thwarted Imperium. Good for them. And they posed the tag titles. They look very happy.
I am made up for those lads.
You look it.
I'm so uncomfortable in this chair. I was thinking, can I possibly stand up to do the rest of the podcast? But I don't think the webcam would allow
Just
for
do
it.
a Tom Phillips.
What's that? Just, oh yeah. Well,
Get the legs wide.
yeah, let's try that.
Well, message people on your phone.
Maffew. Anyway, that was it a weird finish? The old double leg drop thing that didn't really land, but that was the plan spots. That's what it did anyway. Was that just me who thought that?
I wasn't looking too hard, actually. Maybe it didn't. Let's look at Jack instead.
It's weird, this.
This is some fantastic listening for audio listeners. Audio listeners.
No, yeah, I forgot this is audio.
Jack the Jobber has put his stool to one side. They are hard and metal and wooden on the base. We have little thin cushions that don't do much. They're all right for a 10-minute news video, but not for a pictures video and podcast double shoot, brother. So he's taken the decision to stand up to his feet. He's now adjusting the microphone accordingly to fit his 6'7" frame. It's now in his mouth, and we're back on the podcast. And he's now jumping up and down.
I'm ready.
He's about to spit out the hottest diss track of 2020. Ciampa beats Jake
Oh God!
Atlas.
It looks like I'm ready to like it.
It's like Live Aid. Give us a bit of Bono.
Well, tonight.
Ciampa beats Jake Atlas in under a minute, then batters him for ages. They stretch him out, but Ciampa attacks again. Shades of the late, great Brody Lee there. What do you think, MC Jack?
I can't look at myself in the thing now. I felt bad for Jake Atlas, because he's really good, and he's been a sacrificial lamb here to make Ciampa look like a badass. I like the segment, but do we need to make Ciampa look like a badass? We know he's a badass. What did you think the point was of it? I don't know what the point was.
I was hoping one of you two knew what the point was, why he went a bit further than he had to, because I didn't know either.
Well, I mean, whenever someone goes away and comes back, they need to do something really impressive, like killing Jake Atlas. That's it, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. New unique move, the slingshot into the underside of the ring apron. That was all right, I suppose. The ref threw up a big X as well, though. He was like, whoa, this lad's hurt. He wasn't
Emotionally
hurt.
as well as physically.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar retains the Cruiserweight title against Isaiah Scott. Afterwards, Drake Maverick loses to Kyle O'Reilly in a pretty short order. That's not very nice, that wordplay there.
I didn't mean...
Strong and Fish beat Maverick down afterwards, but Kyle doesn't seem keen. Killian Dane makes a save and then attacks Maverick anyway.
But Kyle
nice.
O'Reilly didn't seem too pleased with the beatdown. Intriguing. Because are we going to get babyface Kyle O'Reilly that we all deserve? Maybe.
Oh, I hope so.
I can see it. And Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez beat Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley after Gonzalez impressively pins Ripley. Got decent chemistry.
It was
going on.
impressive. Big bloody powerbomb, wasn't it? Woof.
Yes. The big bloody powerbomb. Oh, that
She's just given her a big bloody powerbomb.
You know what I've just thought, by the way?
Go on.
We could be on the brink of Wade Barrett versus Adam Cole in a boom-off. Who originated the boom in the wrestling theme scene?
Oh.
Barrett's was better as well. It had the reverb on it before. It was like, wap, 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 boom.
Barrett
Adam
is...
Cole. Oh, go on.
Barrett is one of those people that I couldn't believe got released. Or did his contract just run out?
He left of his own accord, didn't he? 'Cause he was sick.
Right.
He was with the lads and then they were going nowhere. So he was like, I'm going bloody home.
Yeah. And then he appeared in our Royal Rumble on commentary and whipped off his elbow pad and knocked him. Oh, the crowd still love him. He's still very over all the time.
We're the reason, therefore, that he's now hired by NXT.
So it goes. Yeah. So goes the. Apparently, we gave him the bug back, didn't we? Apparently, I can't remember who said it.
I was joking. I didn't.
Oh no, I've heard apparently when he was backstage at ours, he was like getting excited and stuff. He was like, "Oh no, I'm getting the bug again," or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's just ill.
Probably.
Yeah, WCPW between Wade Barrett and Dave Bradshaw had the biggest commentary team in wrestling history.
Oh,
God.
Dave is a tall man, isn't he?
He's
Also the loveliest man. Love Dave.
yeah. But I like the idea of Wade Barrett challenging Adam Cole and goes, "Oh, Adam Cole, I'm going to hit you harder than a pie sandwich." It's Preston cuisine, by the way.
Oh, pie sandwich.
What are they
Yeah.
called? Is it Wigan kebab or something like that? I'm sure it's called something like that.
I've
People
not
from
heard
the
that
Northwest, let me know if you're still alive.
Oh, God.
Pandemic's awful round there, isn't it? I didn't mean to sound so light-hearted.
No, no.
yeah, it is terrible in the Northwest.
Yeah, we can confirm we've been there. Well, that was all of wrestling. I think that's it. Going once, going twice.
Oh, stop. Impact did the second half of their 2-week special. There was an Iron Woman match, and it was a good one. It was a good Iron Man. Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordan Grace. Check it out if you haven't. There you go.
3,
Oh,
2.
Sorry. Kojima's an idiot as well.
Oh,
Kojima had a match in New Japan against El Desperado, and the stipulation was that if you use your finisher, it's a DQ, and he just lariated him and got DQ'd. Well, what an idiot. Right. Nah.
going once, going twice. That's the end. Yay!
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
And now it's time to have a look in the mailbag. Number 1. Greetings, Earthlings. It's me, Logan, who has a convoluted last name. I am here to discuss conspiracy theories. Insert the dramatic music. Thank you, Ross. While in lockdown, I have fallen in a rabbit hole of wrestling-related videos, and in doing so, I have listened to a few wrestling-related conspiracy theories. Some that stick out to me are Montreal Screwjob was just a big work. I love that. That will be 50 years old and people will still be saying, it was all a work, that. I love that.
I tell you what, though, Scott Hall, he's the one who thinks it's a work, and everything he says does make sense. Just put it out there. I sound like AJ Styles doing it.
Everything
Just saying, there's a lot to think about.
Everything Scott Hall says makes sense.
I know. He was on about like the certain camera angles that it's a shoot interview somewhere. YouTube is probably there. It all does make sense.
Wow.
Flat Earth doesn't, though. That's a load of crap.
Randy Savage had a relationship with a 17-year-old Stephanie McMahon. Allegedly, according to this, by the way. I know libel laws are still a thing. WWE doctors didn't clear Daniel Bryan in order to stop him from taking the spotlight off of Roman Reigns.
Wow, I've not heard that one before.
No, that one. The Ultimate Warrior was replaced after his death. After it. Oh,
he's
you
in
mean
like he was meant to have died in the 90s, and yeah.
Yeah. Because he looked nothing like what he used to. Fake. Anyway. And finally, Brock Lesnar actually knocked Undertaker out in order to beat the streak at WrestleMania 30.
Oh, me and Ross were there when that got put out into the world.
Yeah,
That's
it was Paul
actually my
Heyman, wasn't
favourite
it?
one.
Was it Inside the Ropes decided to say that for some reason.
Sounded so convincing. He did as well.
Yeah.
He's like a cult leader. You could say anything. So there was a drunk lad in the crowd who got so angry at him saying that he got kicked out.
Yeah, I remember what you're saying. God. Still real to him, damn it.
It was really
The
funny
question
watching Kenny be like, shut up and sit down.
Why was he talking to Paul Heyman like that? The question here is simply, which wrestling conspiracy theory piques your interest the most? You don't have to necessarily believe it, but which seems the most plausible or entertaining? Oh, I've got one here. Thanks for all you do and keep up the great name. I will even let you have a shot at the last name. Logan Campagnon. All right, look, I'll spell it.
Campagna.
Campagnon.
Yeah. Looks Italian. Campagnon.
Oh, that is Campagnon if I've ever
Campagnone.
Campagnone.
Hey!
Campagnone.
Yeah.
Oh, God, why have we done an accent?
Made like Paulie in the Sparrows, Commandatory. So thank you very much, Logan. Appreciate that question. I've got a conspiracy theory. I think Justin Henry sent this or spread it around. I don't think he got any traction. Do you remember when John Cena wrestled Ken Kennedy? He took that hip toss and then was injured. And he was all like, oh no, an innocent move like that, you could barely tell. And then he returned with no warning whatsoever at Royal Rumble 2008. Justin Henry thinks that was a secret wellness policy violation, hidden by the fact that the injury that Cena sustained is supposed to have a much longer recovery period. And there he was in Royal Rumble 2008, looking fine and dandy.
Well,
it was all just a cover-up.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
I refuse to believe that.
Oh, I mean, of course, it's a bit silly. I mean,
John
it's nice to
Cena
think
is
about.
our hero.
He's our natural big hero.
I saw
Eats
him
a
on,
lot of tomahawk steak.
it was on Sky Sports, maybe. He was on Soccer AM, I think, one of the times when he's like, look, I've got big old hands. I'm just built to be this big. And I was thinking, John, you're actually like a monster, though. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just mine. I'm not, again, I think it's an interesting one that could fit maybe. There's something there. Because would they ever give Cena a wellness policy? Of course not. But anyway, that's not just a wrestling theory. What's it saying? That's just a theory, a wrestling theory. Have you got any, Jack?
My favourite one is the popular conspiracy theory around sort of this time last year that Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins' relationship was a work, which was put out there by one Maffew Gregg. Turned out to be utter complete bollocks, actually. And I'd just like to congratulate both Seth and Becky on the impending arrival of their new child together. So there we go.
Fake kid, fake pregnant. Look, it's not my fault that they had all the chemistry of, a hostage and the hostage taker. Sorry that they look, here, like. So
that's a thing they say on Friends, though, isn't it? When Chandler's having a bit of a crisis about his partner who's an actress and she's necking on with some man. I think it's Joey's like, if there's no chemistry on stage, that means they are. Oh, that's just, doesn't matter. Move on with our lives. I've just talked out to,
Ross, what have you got for us?
Mine's that, I'm going to whisper it because he's out there, but when Sam was saying that Dean Ambrose leaving WWE was a conspiracy, and he would eat his own hat. He would eat his hat.
Right.
He's not done it. He's not done that.
He still hasn't done it. He's just outside the door here.
He was wearing a hat the other day as if to taunt us. Uneaten.
I know.
Yeah.
I see
a
it.
pie hat.
It comes back in the comments quite regularly now, and so people haven't forgotten. And I'm just going to put it out there just to make sure he does actually eat the hat, because Tom's eating a spider, for goodness sake.
Tom's a man of his word.
The least Sam could do would eat a hat.
The weirdest. Ross's presenting style is usually so loud. It's so surreal to hear him do a wildlife documentary voice.
Ross's ASMR talks about some.
No one wants to hear my. Well, I got a lot of backlash because I thought our predictions for SummerSlam last week. I was thinking, biggest party of the summer. Let's get some sangria and have a drink and have a bit of fun. And everyone hated it.
Why?
Largely because I was swigging.
Oh.
And the noise, and obviously because I was being obnoxious and pretending to be drunk and all that malarkey. But yeah, I missed the ball on that one. I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, other than that one that we can't shout about is Hogan's black eye.
That was a good one for years, yeah.
So many people had so many different things. Did he hurt in a ski jet accident thingy malarkey? Did Savage knock him out because he was cheating with Liz backstage or whatever? Was any more out there?
Brett,
Maffew?
Was it Brett?
Brett.
Because he took his
Brett
spot.
wouldn't punch Hogan.
Brett would punch Hogan.
Would he?
Aye. Brett fears nout. Brett was meant
in my eyes. He gave Hogan a black eye and said it was the best black eye he ever had.
Brett was meant to be solid, wasn't he? He could have beat up Shawn Michaels.
No, I'm not saying that he couldn't if he wanted to, but I'm saying that he wouldn't. No.
Yeah, he would.
The idea of Bret Hart going over to Hulk Hogan going, you said you were going to put over the excellence of execution at the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Sorry.
But now Vince McMahon is telling me that you're not going to put over the best there is, the best there was. Hogan. What, brother?
You're saying that Bret Hart wouldn't punch somebody for screwing him out of a title.
Oh, okay. Wrestling with Shadows proved that he could do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know that Vince is not as terrifying as Hogan, but I don't know.
That's sort of a good conspiracy theory. The idea that Vince McMahon has put out that it was only because of the screw job that he allowed Bret to spark him out. And he said that Vince McMahon is convinced, probably still to this day, that if it was one-on-one legit fight, that he could take Bret Hart.
Now,
I believe that because the Kurt Angle story on the plane ride from hell, he believed he could take down Kurt Angle in a shoot fight.
And he's not saying, like, in a time machine, if 20-year-old me took contact. No, he means like that Vince McMahon there. The nearly 50-year-old guy in 97 could take on Bret.
It's just a bloke thing, isn't it? My dad's 54 and thinks he could beat me in a race still. So, like, what's he on about? Come on, Graham.
Have you ever gone, all right then?
Nah. In fact, the last time he said that was probably in his 40s. But still, I'm a lithe young man. Oh, God.
Oh, some good conspiracy theories out there, but Apparently, again, I'll move on, but apparently, according to the Something to Wrestle With podcast about WrestleMania 9, Hogan says that was caused by a jet ski and said that if somehow he fell off the jet ski because he had the last 12 hours getting drunk and just lied to the guy and says, "Are you sober?" Yeah, fine. And he just fell off the jet ski and the jet ski went and hit him and broke his orbital bone. And he said that if it hit him here, it would have decapitated him. If it hit him here, he'd be brain dead and all this other stuff. So he was actually very lucky that he only broke his orbital bone.
It sounds like a
And according to Hogan, according to Hogan, when the commission were asking, well, what's with that? Doesn't look like he can wrestle with that. He goes, oh, it's just an angle, bruv, that's all makeup. He just BS'd them and just went in the ring in WrestleMania 9 and, ruined things.
I don't know.
If you can't believe Hogan, who can you believe, Jack? Man of integrity.
The ex-bassist from Metallica.
Oh, again, one last thing. Apparently the story that Hogan put out for years, by the way, that he missed a call to be the George Foreman, a grill dude, before they picked George Foreman, is actually true.
What?
It sounds like something that Hogan would say, but apparently his agent is the same as George Foreman's, and they were getting the grill sorted out, and they really needed an answer like then and there. And Hogan either didn't answer his call or didn't respond to the voicemail and was like, oh, whatever. And they went, no, we really need to get this sorted out. So then they called George Foreman. So apparently that story's actually true, that Hogan was this close to getting that grill that made George Foreman millions.
I thought George Foreman invented the grill.
What?
That's just the storyline.
Yeah, sorry, I've been worked by George Foreman.
Stopped boxing to invent a grill.
I thought he could invent a grill. I thought he was a clever guy.
No, he had his sons, George,
Yes.
George, and George. Not the other George, he was grounded to help him with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, question number 2, sup. I've been watching wrestling since 2006 when I was 6 years old. Oh, this isn't going to be a GCSE maths question, is it? As a young fan, I never understood the concept of someone being a bad wrestler. If they win matches, they're a good wrestler, right? This all changed when I was 13 and watched a David Otunga match.
Poor Dave, man. Poor Dave. I like him. I like Dave.
My question is, who was the first wrestler you guys noticed as being not very good? Thank you all for keeping my brain occupied during my late night shifts as a parking attendant. Sincerely, Mauricio from Juniper Valley, California. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry about my inability to pronounce anything. I thought I was a good speaker before I did this podcast, I swear. Yeah. Who was the first time you, as a kid, you saw someone and went, oof?
Great Khali.
What period, Great Khali?
Early, when he first arrived on SmackDown.
Right, because that was the year that he was amazing. Oh, not amazing, but like he was, like he was a big deal. Like the clean loss to Undertaker, the match of Cena and all that.
I think I might have also seen quite early on the Giant Gonzalez match with the Undertaker, but the first one I really remember thinking, oh wait, he's actually bad at this, was Great Khali. Which I hate saying that because he appeared on mine and Sam's song, and seems like a great dude, but no, I don't. He wasn't very good. What about you? Either of you?
Ross, you say something. Well, I think
Rodney of the Mean Street Posse, the blonde one, terrible. Even back then, when I was 8, 9, at a push up 10, maybe, terrible. Could always tell. Of the 3 Mean Street Posse, he was the worst by a country mile, and the worst wrestler in the world ever.
I didn't think Midian was that bad on the basis that he had that cool shirt that was the eye in the eye, and he used to team with Viscera, who was good, until he became Naked Midian. And then I realised, God, this man is bad. And so are both of his balls. That was an awakening for me. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, so moving on from Naked Midian. The current best storyline in all of wrestling, of course, isn't Brody Lee or anything like that. It is, of course, the moral dilemma question, as asked 3 weeks ago, which my mum decided to weigh in, because we didn't get mentioned this week, so I don't know what's happening. So I'll read this out. I haven't read all of it, so I'm just going to read it out for the first time here.
Imagine if this is something salacious and horrible from Mrs. Gregg. Could you imagine what a turn that would be for the podcast?
Dear Maffew, Jack and Ross.
Is she starting like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good evening, Mrs. Gregg.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Botchamania.
implies I married her. No, don't call her that.
All right, Mama Botch.
There, Big Mama Botch. I'm all right with that.
I didn't say Big Mama Botch. I said Mama Botch.
Big Mama Botch.
I did not say Big Mama Botch. And the fact she watches this, I'm like, oh no.
Lovely to get a mention on the podcast. And wait a minute, I copy-pasted this from the email, but it just says the word emoji. And I don't know if the life of me, if my mum typed that, oh no, I'm going to get yelled at. Thank you, Ross, for saying you'd like my opinion about your man's dilemma, in brackets, hope you meant it.
I did.
I agree with you all, actually. The guy's going to go for it regardless. If all is fair in love and war, then there can be no problem. Sometimes, though, affairs of the heart don't always follow logic. The guy may need to prepare himself for, I don't want her, but don't want anyone else to either. Don't want anyone else to either, from his friend. There we go. But I truly hope that for the girl in question, it's a case of rejection is God's protection.
Here, honestly, your mum is so wise. I can't believe the wisdom that's being dropped here. I can't believe
I've never
it.
heard that before. Rejection is God's protection. And she is now free to enjoy true love with the new guy, and that the friend is mature enough to accept that your man and ex-girlfriend have found happiness together.
That's such a good answer.
It was explained that the friend doesn't like to mix mates of dates, so perhaps it won't be much chance of potential awkwardness between the exes. All right.
That's true as well. She's really... Oh, she's nailed this.
Tell you what,
loving the
moms
podcast.
know everything, don't they?
They do, and sometimes it's really awkward because you don't want to know everything.
Mine doesn't know... I'll tell that story after. Go on, sorry.
I'll finish it out the way then, Karen. I'm loving the podcast, and though I don't claim to understand everything you are saying, it's been such a pleasure to observe a really comfortable chemistry develop between the three of you, which makes watching a delight. Oh, Christ. Keep up the good work. Love, Elaine, a.k.a. Maffew's mum or mam, depending where you are in the country.
That is a fantastic message.
That was way less embarrassing than I thought it was going to be.
That's really good.
What a nice message.
Good. That's a nice
Yeah.
message.
And that clarifies that. Next week we'll have a talk about the Montreal screw job and if it was a work or not.
We need to start something on the podcast where it's just a section where your mom just gives some insight and
some life advice.
some life advice.
Yeah.
I'm
really
glad
good.
that Vince McMahon and Bret Hart are no longer together and that Bret has God's protection from this rejection. Anyway, enough of this. What were you going to say, Jack?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not that good. Just that I was going to say my mum doesn't know what a megabus is. So, like, well, no, because... So it was the first time I'd ever got on a megabus, like not the National Express, like a megabus. And I was going down to like Leeds or somewhere. And she dropped me off at the megabus stop on John Dobson Street in Newcastle, near the City Library. And she was just like, it's the biggest argument I think we've ever had. She was, because we were running late and I needed to catch this megabus, and she's going like, what's the name of the company, Jack? What's the name of the company? And I was like, Megabus. And she wouldn't accept. I'm getting annoyed now. She wouldn't accept. She was like, that's just the name of that she just thought that was just like a concept, like the Megabus. She didn't think that was the brand. And I kept being like, it's Megabus. And she was like, let's have a look at the confirmation email. And I was like, it just says Megabus there. And eventually it was the Megabus. And I said to her before I got on it, I was like, you didn't believe me. And she's never admitted it. She's never admitted that she didn't believe me. Anyway, I've got annoyed again now. I'm going to have to ask her about that. She has texted me as well. I've not replied yet. So
Just show her Adam's trip.
Yeah. No, because she realised when the Megabus rocked up with Megabus on the side, but she changed her story then. She changed her story. Disgraceful.
Grand.
Normally she's a really good parent. I felt like I've really slacked her off.
And if the mums want to weigh in this moral dilemma, or if you have any moral dilemmas of your own to start this conversation, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Now it's time for the other favourite segment of the show, Reese's Pieces. Wait a minute, last time we did this, I just remembered, there was that issue you had with that YouTuber. Has that gone anywhere?
Right. No, it seems all fine. Stephen tries.
He replied on last week's podcast.
Did he?
He put a comment. I remember looking at it. I'll
get it.
find it right now.
Oh, please do. Please take your time.
He's a lovely lad, and I'm worried.
It wasn't anything controversial. He just commented on the video. Let me scroll down. Speak amongst yourselves for a bit.
No worries, I'll do the intro.
I want
Tope
you to
Con,
take
hello
me
fellas. With as boring as this quarantine has been...
Oh, sorry, I was singing. Go on.
I've been...
Standing up's giving me
I
so
thought you
much
gave me some
energy.
background music. Thank you, Jack.
I found the
official
comment.
team.
Oh, there we go.
on.
Right.
Stephen tries. Verified account, by the way.
Oh, my God.
I am willing to let go of Reese's Pieces, but I bagsy the new segment, Racist Basist.
Damn it. Oh, well. Guess we'll have to compromise. Anyway, topic on the low fellas.
Fair play,
As boring as this
Sorry
quarantine
about the argument.
has been, I've been rewatching some classic wrestling matches and segments. That leads me to my Reese's Pieces. I'm going to give you guys 2 iconic, for one reason or another, wrestling moments, and you have to choose which one you'd erase from history. Only one can stay, the other never happened.
I can't read it, Ross.
It just says, when Sam going to eat his hat? 105 likes. 105.
Thanks for all the amazing videos you guys make. Best, Trevor from Ohio, said like the New Japan crowd. Ohio.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor, and thank you to all the 105 people who like every time we bring up the fact that Sam didn't eat his hat. Please keep it going. Get that slow build going, like Becky versus Sasha.
One day.
Bailey versus Sasha. Maffew, you're an idiot. Anyway, the ones here, selections. Yep, got them up. This is Reese's Pieces. Go around the circle. Go Ross, Jack, Maffew. Fastest thought first. One has to stay, one has to go. Daniel Bryan winning the title at Mania 30, or CM Punk winning the title at Money in the Bank 2011.
Punk.
Punk, because it was the start of, and then Bryan wouldn't have happened without, you know what I'm saying.
I agree, but Bryan.
Fair enough.
Simple as. Number 2, Brett versus Owen Mania 10, or Brett versus Austin Mania 13.
13.
Brett versus Austin, yeah.
Yeah, Brett versus Austin. Oof. Edge cashing in on Cena at New Year's Revolution 2006, or Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31.
Goodness me. Seth, because then Roman would have won it earlier.
Seth, because of the grandness of the spectacle.
Edge, because it was amazing then, and it'll always be. That's it. Jericho beating The Rock and Austin to become the undisputed champion, or Becky Lynch beating Ronda and Charlotte to become Becky 2 belts.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah, the second one, but both should have been better than they were, and it's not the fault of the wrestlers.
Yeah, I'll go with Becky Lynch because Jericho's run was crap.
Oh,
Sami Zayn becomes NXT champion, or Keith Lee becomes the first double singles champion in NXT history.
Keith.
yeah,
No,
probably,
Sammy. Oh, no.
Yeah, probably Keith for me.
I'll probably say Sami because something happened there. Didn't really go well for Keith, really.
Or Sammy. though.
Yeah, Sammy was worst reign ever, wasn't it?
No, I mean,
In our tier ranking for the NXT champions, I do believe.
that was your worst one. Why was that?
I think so, yeah. We just how short it was. Now it was just to build Kevin Owens up. It wasn't really for Sammy.
Oh, that's what I mean. Sorry, Sami Zayn then put over Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens was a big deal. And we had that mega feud. Keith Lee's lost 2 titles and it's off the Raw.
Wait, sorry, was it Sammy being NXT champion or Sammy becoming IC champion?
NXT.
Oh, I'll choose Sammy then. Sorry, Sammy, absolutely. That win against Neville was really good.
Nakamura wins the 2018 Royal Rumble. Bloody hell, I forgot about that. Or McIntyre, bless me, wins the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Sorry, what side are we going for this? What get rid of or keep?
You
Keeping
pick the
it.
one you keep.
Pick the favorite one.
Keep the right. I've been right. Yeah. Sorry, what was the other 2 options? I was too pissing about with that comment about Sam.
He's just been saying anything. Nakamura wins the 2018 Rumble, or McIntyre wins the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Oh, McIntyre wins the 2020. Keep that one.
Nakamura, because I won about 70 quid. Get in.
Yeah, I'll go with Big Drew. Lesnar squashes Cena, SummerSlam 2014, or Lesnar beats the streak, WrestleMania 30.
Oh, keep this. Oh, keep SummerSlam. I want the streak to continue.
The streak ending for me is my favourite of those 2. Actually. Yeah.
They were both good, but SummerSlam 2014's amazing. WrestleMania 17 or NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
Oh, 17. Keep 17.
WrestleMania 17 is more of a variety show.
Yeah, nothing's keeping WrestleMania 17. It's up my childhood favourites, along with Disney's Aladdin. Jinder Mahal becomes WWE champion versus David Arquette becomes WCW champion.
Oh, how way, man.
Keep Jinder. Keep Jinder.
No, I'm going for David Arquette because the dying days of WCW are something special in a bad way. And I think that was more entertaining car crash ridiculousness than Jinder winning because he worked really hard. Oh, wait, he deserves it then. What am I doing? Jinder, keep Jinder.
I like the fact that Jinder Mahal has become a big joke amongst people. Like, Jinder Mahal champion, that's the only thing to save it. But I think WWE lost more money with Jinder Mahal on top than WCW did with David Arquette as the champ. So, I'm picking David. And this one is the Cultaholic boys themselves, attending WrestleMania 33 live or attending Double or Nothing live.
Ooh.
33 because it was less stressful.
Yeah, Vegas was more.
Oh, man.
Vegas was more stressful.
What a carry on that trip was. We all fell out. Terrible.
It's the only
Vegas
time I've
was
seen you
more-
guys mad at each other.
Vegas. Oh, it's the only time. Oh, fair enough. We've done all right then. Vegas was more stressful, but 33 was really cool with the stage and the stage. It's one of the best WrestleMania stages ever. Would you agree, Ross? Because you're the stage man.
Oh, yeah. Big Bear.
Yeah.
Top tier.
But then the thing that I liked about Double or Nothing was the atmosphere around it. There was a bit where we went to the press conference thing, and Cody came out and just did a baby. He was like, he could have started an army that weekend if he wanted to. Like, I couldn't believe how excited everyone was. But overall, there's nothing like when a city gets taken over by WrestleMania. So I'll go for WrestleMania 33.
That's tough. They were both good. When push comes to shove, I'll say WrestleMania 33 because I was on less drugs. So I remember more of it.
Hey, that's something
It's
I didn't mention
legal in
about Ron
Vegas.
Funches.
Yeah, another thing, Ron Funches, look, if you get
Gave you
drugs
too
from
big
him,
a serving, didn't he?
yes, it's completely his fault. Ron Funches is the...
I thought it was X-Pac. Oh, he was
I
just
can't
there.
stay mad at X-Pac.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
No, X-Pac's dog. That's right. That
Yes, his dog was there, yeah.
So, yeah, both great events, though. And thank you very much for the Reese's Pieces. If you have any Reese's Pieces to send, you can, of course, send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
Wow. What a great podcast. And the big question this week is... Sorry, I was watching Jack. You all right?
I might do all these standing now. I'm having a tremendous time.
I can tell. Yeah. This week's big question. Will Roman be a good guy? Will he be a bad guy? Or will he be the guy?
Oh,
This Sunday's Payback. Of
I'm
course,
not a good guy. Who was it who said that?
Roman Reigns.
Was it Roman?
Yes.
Oh, so long
That's why I
ago. Sorry, I thought you were just bringing back something that like Sid had once said or something. Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh, because there was the guy, the man, and the dude, wasn't there? That was the ex-Shield boys.
Which is Mick Foley, I think. But this Sunday at Payback, the much anticipated, highly built-up card WWE will be putting out a week after SummerSlam. The main event will see Roman Reigns making his return, first time since before WrestleMania this year, against Bray Wyatt, the current champion, and Braun Strowman in a three-way, no-holds-barred triple threat match, as opposed to all those triple threat matches with disqualification. And that will be for the WWE Universal title. So, big question, what's Roman Reigns going to be doing? Jack, your thoughts?
I think we're not going to find out until after Beyond Payback. I think on the surface, he's an ass kicker and he's being a little bit more heelish, but the very fact that he's feuding with Strowman and Fiend makes him like the de facto babyface, maybe. So I think for now, he's going to be just a slightly more edgy face than what he once was. But then if he wins the belt from the Fiend at some point down the line and then feuds with a face, that's when I think things are going to get really interesting. So we'll see what happens. What do you think, Ross?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be largely the same. It'll just be Roman Reigns, and then fans can make their own minds up. I think that's what it'll be. maybe it will be a bit more edgy. Hopefully he'll just be allowed to be a bit more himself and a bit more laid back and a bit more Roman Reignsy. But one thing I do hope is he gets a new attire and new music. That would be a welcome and much needed change in my opinion. I don't know what the attire would be, but I think the laser tag vest of the Shield needs to go.
He's held on to the Shield gear longer than Marty Jannetty held on to the Rockers gear.
Plus, he's ripped. He's even more ripped than he was before, so why hide that away? Get it out, man, Roman. Get it out for the lads.
Go on, man. Yeah. New music. Come out to some Supergrass. He's young. He's mean. He's got teeth. Nice and clean. He's all right.
He's not hero of face. He's all right. He's all right.
Young. Here he comes, the big dog.
When we were watching SummerSlam, Owen kept showing me Liverpool songs because he's a big Liverpool fan, and they've got this chant that goes "Ale, ale, ale," and that's what was playing when Roman, as if it was his entrance music, and it was like, "We've conquered all of Europe," and I was thinking, this doesn't really suit Roman Reigns, but Supergrass is even better. I love that. Or Dreamer. Just comes out like cocking his fist. Good.
Yes. I like the idea Roman Reigns come back, as you said. He's not quite a bad one. It's like Shades of 98, where it's like, Austin, I helped you, but it's not because I like you, it's because I don't like your opponent. That's pretty much the entire main event scene for a year and a half. Yeah. He comes back. He doesn't like The Fiend because he's spooky and gives him weird feelings. But that doesn't mean he likes Braun Strowman, who's still got issues with the whole ambulance attack and everything from a few years ago. So yeah, Roman Reigns with an edge. He's like Poochie the dog. Got attitude.
I think it might work. I think that people might like him now. Do you think it'll take a while for it? Because has anyone really booed him since he returned from his leukemia?
No, because he wasn't a main event overpush guy anyway. He was just a dude on the card. So it's like, well, why am I going to... That's why, which one was it? I think it was the Baron Corbin match from this year. He was booed. Or something where they were in Philly and he got booed. Right. Maybe last year's WrestleMania. That's right,
Against Drew.
No, that was it. Last year's WrestleMania, he got booed. But I'm like, you're still booing him?
Yeah,
like, wait a minute, all the issues have been sorted out. I mean, all right. Okay.
Yeah, but it was WrestleMania. It was like Smark Haven, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it was in New York as well.
Oh, there we go. Well, those fans are...
I just need to apologise just in case you can hear the longest piss in the world happening above my head. It is still going on now. I can hear it loud and clear even though I've got my headphones on, and I just want to apologise.
Is it
literally above his head?
Is it
literally just there. Oh, it's 100% a piss. It's still going. There, it's ended now. Unbelievable. Good God. If Richard, no one's up there, are they? We're all downstairs. God, Richard, are you there? I didn't know whose that piss was. Anyway, move on. Roman Reigns will be slightly heely than he was before. That's what I reckon.
Oh, you're next door, aren't you?
I'm next door, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's... yeah. But they're joined together. Who knows? We'll have to find out next week on the podcast.
It'll just be someone we don't know.
But our bathroom might be there, because this room here is like... I need to... it doesn't matter. I'm just sorry if you picked up that really long piss on the microphone.
All right, Mum, how long is it? How acceptable is it to piss that long on a podcast? I'll sort it out next week. Yeah, that should be the only thing of note. Payback. It's not quite James Brown. He had a big payback. This is just a medium-sized payback. But we'll be watching nonetheless to make all this great content that you know and love, or at least put up with on your YouTube subscription, as you should all be subscribed to the Cultaholic channel. You can see such lovely content as... Jack, what have you got for us?
So it's a little bit different because of all the Payback and Dynamite being moved around and everything. So Graded will be up today when this podcast's gone out, but I don't think it'll be enough for very long. So Graded will be out because Dynamite was on Thursday night. Rest of the week will still be going out on Friday. And until next week, I think that's it. And I'm doing a What Happened That video straight after Payback.
Good times. And Ross?
Yeah, my Dynamite video that some people like to watch, that'll be on the YouTube channel Friday as we're sat here. The plan is for me and Pachiti to do a tier ranking video of most of not all, but the notable CFO $WWE themes since they've buggered off. Because if we did them all, we'd be here until next week. They've done a hell of a lot, more than you might think. And then, I'll have my WTF moments for Payback up on the channel on Monday. Pitches are out today, maybe, or something. We've done them for Payback. Whoa.
They'll be out at some point.
All go here.
That's it. All singing, all dancing here at Cultaholic. This endless stream of not just piss, but some wrestling as well. And if you have any questions for us, you can, of course, send them to mailbag at cultaholic.com. Getting near the end now. And if you want to vote for any of the lovely Hall of Fame selections, you can by, of course, going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. But this is the end of the show. I've been Maffew. That's been Ross. This has been Jack. You've been amazing. Please end the podcast by putting your hand up against your webcam or your screen. And as we always do, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, join us. Wagga, 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 wagga.